please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Callisto, and the Corps of Cadets, I'd like to welcome you to the August 2012 Bayonet Battalion ROTC Commissioning Ceremony. At this time, I request you to turn off your cell phones, feel free to move about the auditorium, and to take pictures at any time. Please stand for the arrival of the official party, consisting of Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Callisto, Professor of Military Science, and Brigadier General Patricia Hanslow, the Assistant Adjutant General of the Arkansas National Guard, and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation. The invocation will now be given by Cadet Jonathan Stewart.
Please bow your head for me. Abba, Father, thank you for this day. I ask you for your blessing and your grace as we honor those being commissioned. I thank you for the safe arrival of our guests and for the cadre who have prepared these soldiers for this day. I thank you for the freedom this country gives us and the freedom these soldiers are prepared to defend. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Professor of Military Science for UCA, Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Callisto, would like to take this opportunity to introduce our guest speaker for this evening's commissioning. Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Callisto is a logistics officer who assumed duties as the Professor of Military Science at UCA on July 1st, 2010. She's a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Commissioning through the ROTC program there, she earned her master's degree from the University of Oklahoma. She has served in the Army for over 18 years in California, Virginia, Germany, Israel, Maryland, Kansas, Illinois, Iraq, and now here. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Callisto.
Fellow soldiers, families, friends, and most importantly, our commissionees. This is an important day, the day that we commission the newest officers into the United States Army. Today did not just happen. There's been a lot of work from a lot of different people that have contributed to today. The cadre, the university educators, and most importantly you, the families providing support to these young men and women. Of course, they've also put in a lot of their own effort towards this commissioning. Without exception, these commissionees have had a positive influence and support in their lives from their families, the educators that have guided them through rigorous degree programs, and the cadre who have induced rigor on them, inducing physical, mental, and emotional stress in their training, holding them accountable, and enforcing standards. These commissionees planned, executed, and assessed training for the freshman, sophomore, and junior classes in ROTC. And they did this while balancing their traditional academic load, families, jobs, and other responsibilities. To the new commissionees, you have made a commitment to service. You understand duty, integrity, and taking care of your people. You will be expected to perform equally well in a full spectrum of operations, from disaster relief, nation building, asymmetrical warfare, to conventional combat. You will be thrown into ambiguous situations where you will have to figure it out. You will have to be flexible and adaptive, and you will be responsible for the most valuable resource our nation has, our young people, our sons and daughters. To the families, we appreciate your support, and we appreciate you coming today. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our guest speaker for this afternoon. Brigadier General Patricia Anslow was commissioned a second lieutenant in the Corps of Engineers at West Point, New York in May of 1989, where she received her Bachelor of Science degree in geography. She also earned a Bachelor of Science degree in biology from the University of Arkansas at Little Rock in 1997, a Master's of Science degree in water resource planning from Johns Hopkins University in 2005, and a Master of Strategic Studies from the U.S. Army War College in 2009. Brigadier General Anslow began her military career at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where she served as a platoon leader with the 100th Topographic Engineer Company and deployed with the 20th Airborne Engineer Brigade in 1990 during the Gulf War. She later served as adjutant of the 30th Engineer Battalion before transitioning to the Arkansas Army National Guard in 1993. In the Arkansas Army National Guard, she has served in a variety of construction, facility, and combat engineer command and staff positions with the Camp Robinson Institution Support Unit, the 25th Rear Operations Center, the 875th Engineer Battalion, and the 87th Troop Command. Brigadier General Anslow has also served as the Deputy Chief of Staff for Engineering in the Joint Force Headquarters. She deployed as commander of the 875th Engineer Battalion in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom 0608 for the 411th and 20th Engineer Brigades. During the surge operation, the battalion also served as task force engineers for the 3rd Command from July 2012 until her promotion to Brigadier General effective June 2012. She began her civilian career for Little Rock District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in 1994 and currently serves as the Chief of the Planning and Environmental Division. Please help me in welcoming Brigadier General Patricia Anslow.
Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate being given the honor to come here and celebrate with you today. This truly is a day of celebration. I want to echo the words of Lieutenant Colonel Klosky when she said thank you. She said thank you to the cadets, who soon to be second lieutenants. Does that sound good? Second lieutenants. But more importantly, to the family members and the long list of supporters that helped these lieutenants get to where they are today. And it certainly did not happen overnight. It was a lot of hard work. It was a tremendous amount of hard work. It seems like just yesterday I was doing this myself, being very, very anxious and waiting for that day where I could get that golden bar pinned upon my shoulders. It's a unique, an absolutely unique circumstance that these young men and women have gone through. You know, we just did the census not too long ago. We're right at about 330 million people in the United States. If you put together all the services, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army, we have less than 3 million serving our country. And of that, there's less than 10% that are officers. So these 4 that are sitting before you about to be commissioned are in a very elite group, a very small, unique group that have committed themselves to doing more for their country. And that's a pretty awesome thing. I get really goosebumps down the back of my